So on this video we're going to see the modules related to human resources department, such as employees, payroll, time off, expenses, along with their contracts, creating an employees, touching documents, and all those stuff. So the first module that I'm going to start with is an employees. In this module we can manage all of our employees. We can sort them by department, we can filter them by department. So at the left hand we have a tab for if we want to see who works in IT department really fast, and here we have filters so that we can filter employees. Like for example, this department has so many employees, like operation, so I want to search them by criteria, as many criteria as I have over here. So I can search them by address, by branch, who created it, current contract, and everything. I can group them by manager, I can group them by department as well. So if I come here and group by department, so I can see how many employees work in department. I can group them by job as well, and by manager as well. I can group them. So here we can see the list of the employees in a list view. So I have so many employees, so I can go to them. So each page loads 80 information per page, so I can either increase it. So I want to see in this list view all list of my employees. And also I have the search here. So if I write anything, either I can search for the name in the employee, by name, by tags, by job position, by skills, and also by resume. So let's see how we can create an employee now. So I will create an employee. Faridun Yusufi. My job position is software developer. I can add tags, system development, Odoo. I can add as many tags as I want, and I can remove them. I can have work mobile. I can have my work email here, my Oscar ID. I can add my MOL ID. I can add to department IT, the manager and coach automatically comes, and if you want to change it, we can click here and the record, so we can see it. We can also choose many managers, many coaches. We can set the branch. Okay, it's for the delivery services LLC. My work information, where I work, joining date, who can approve my holidays, I will say HR, or who can approve my reimbursement, HR. I can set working hours here as well. So I go to private information. I have all the fields that I can add information in it. Well, if I want to this employee to have user, I can create user for him here. Their job position, I can say, okay, software developer. And if it's not there already in the system, we can see this, create software developer. We can see all information over here. So I will say save. I can change the image also. So this is the employee I've just created. I have assigned him to department, to branch, and all basic information. So in the next video we're going to see how can we actually create a contract for the employee who has just joined the company. Thank you, and see you in the next video. In this video we are going to see how can we create a contract for Faridun Yusufi. So either we can come directly here to the smart button and click and then create, or we can go for to the contracts menu and create contract here. So I will write Faridun Yusufi contract 2021. Anything you can write. Employee, I will select Faridun. I've just created. The information comes here. Okay, this is the start of his contract, and he's going to work until May 10th 2020. 2. HR responsible, the person who is creating his contracts and responsible for this employee will be HR user. And here we should write the analytic account for him, I would say Sheraton MOE, for example. So in the salary, I have allowances, I have wage. So basically these, we are waiting for the allowances that you will send us and add them over here. So these are the fixed allowances that will not change in this contract. So my salary will be 4,000 and I will get a 200 allowance. So currently I've used it as house allowance, so I will just say save. So we have 4 stages in the contract as also. So you have 4 stages in the contract. So this is the contract. So for any employee that we want to give him salary, his contracts needs to be in running stage. It means this contract is valid. So I have just created a contract, the contract reference, employee, IT. I have chosen the analytic account. So over here we will choose the branch name that he works on in order to have the expenses recorded on the particular site. I have given him the information, contract details. I can also write notes over here. So also I can attach documents here as well. So also I can see the notes, the logs over here, and also if I go to employee, I can also attach documents related to employees over here as well. So now in this video we have seen that how we can create a contract for the employees, and also we have seen that how we can see the contracts based on their status. So if I want to make this contract valid, I just drag and drop them. I can filter them by expiry date also. So I can easily say, okay, whose contract is, for example, expiring in this month. So end date is before 31st, meaning this month. So it's this Asim Ali and this Muhammad Qudrat, and so we can see it right here. We can group them by job position as well, the contracts. So you can here see by job position. Also I can come to list view, select all of them, then I can have their information exported to the Excel as well. So we have another tab called departments, so we can manage our departments here. We can create them, we can assign them manager, we can group them by parent, we can create parent department as well, so as easy as that. And we can see how many employees are there in each department. So this department has 128 employees. So we have reporting, so that sees mean contract durations. We have a pivot table that we can play around and have lots of information in here. We have the charts and all these, and also we can go to employees and go to list view, select all of them. So also we can export them into the Excel as well. So as we have created a contract, in the next video we will see how we can create time off types and how can we add allocations to the employees. So see you in the next video. We are going to see how we can create time off, go through the time off module and see what we have there. So if I click here, the first thing that I see is a calendar view for the user, so that he can select the days and take holidays. So before actually jumping into how can an employee take leave, we are first going to make sure that we have our configurations, leave time off types configured. So as we can see, we have already paid time off, sick time off, compensatory days, and unpaid. So So if I want to create another leave type, I click on create button, and I will say, for example, urgent leave. So payroll code is actually a code that we want to use in payroll regarding actually connecting this leave into the payroll. So we will call it urgent. Okay, how can employee take leave on this? Okay, I will say he can also take on half day and day. So also, if you want this urgent leave to be for an employee who shall be able to take it in half, we select this. We can select the validity for this leave type, and from January 1st until December 31st, this leave is valid. The allocation, okay, it will be allocated by no limit, means employee can take as many leaves as they want. Allow employee request means that an employee should request for urgent leave for the balance. So we in this time off module, we have two things. We have allocations, means we are assigning or giving balance to employee, and we have time of requests, which are the request for actually getting the holiday. So for this, I will say set it by time off officer. For example, time off officer can give balance to this type of leave to employees, and I will say HR is responsible. Time off notification type, time off. So this is like this. Work entry, we can here create a work entry for this called urgent leave. Create an edit. I will say urgent. It's a time off, absence, unforeseen. Okay, time off type. So we can save and come here. So here we can see that it's automatically connected. So we have created work entry, and why we are creating work entry, we can see it in payroll also. The time of request, so it's by the approval, how needs the approval shall be done. So there is no need for approval by time of officer, employees manager, or by employees manager and time of officer. So I want to keep it simple. Okay, if he applied for leave, the time of officer or HR will approve. I will save. So I have this leave type, and if I want to allocate to employees, I can come to manager, allocation. So first let me allocate it to Faridun, then he can apply for leave. So I will say allocation of 5 days to Faridun Yusufi. It's been, I will select Faridun here, the employee, and I can say 0 of 0. I would say urgent leave, so it's regular 5 days I want to add him, and the reason is like new contract, for example. So I have given Balasan 5 days of type urgent leave to Faridun. So if I say this, I can approve. Now let me create a user for Faridun. So I will go to users, Faridun Yusufi. Now I'll say Yusufi test.com. So I will not give him access rights at all. So he's just my normal employee. That's it. Save. Okay, language speaking English. Time zone UAE. Asia, Dubai. Save. Faridun Yusufi. So I can go to employees, as we have seen earlier. I will link it with his user so that he can apply for leave. So I will go to another browser. I can write it's my login from my test.com, and let me reset his password. So actually, if we create a user, the system automatically sends an email if your outgoing mail servers are activated to this user. So I can go and write my password, login. So I can go to time off, and as you can see, I have 5 days remaining of 5 days. I have taken no leave. It's here in my dashboard, so I will click here, and I wanted to take leave from this date till here and write the reason: urgent, going somewhere, and I can save it, and HR user are getting notified in email as well. So if I go to time off and go to a time off, so as I can see, one person, I can see it here. I can approve, so that's it, it's approved. And now if I come here, I have taken 2 days from there. So now if I go to time off types, create another time off, maybe annual leave, I get annual leave, sorry, we already have, so let's give allocations to Faridun for annual leave, this time a little bit different. Allocation for 2021 paid leave. So here I'll select either I can give it by all the company to all the department. If I give this one, I can also assign these allocations to all the employees who's working in this department that I select, but I'm going with employee and selecting employee. Then he has spent 2 remaining days out of 5, so pay time I'm giving him approval 1, so it's running until either I can specify here May 10 of 2020, the start date of the end date of this employee's contract 10 at 2.5 days end of every month. Extra days means, okay, I have assigned him 2.5 days at the end of month. Currently how many leaves he should take, so I will say 3 days, or maybe 2.5. Initially give him 2.5 days in the beginning, and after he worked 1 month give him 2.5 days leave. So I will say approve, so validate also. And if I come to this dashboard Faridun, so I can see here I have already 2.5 days remaining here. So every month 2.5 days every month is getting credited into my leave account. So I can come here and say, okay, this date I want paid time off for 1 day, and I can write the reason, I can save, so it goes there. And HR, they can come here to see all the employees leave requests and also the allocations that are balances given to them. So in the next video we are going to see how can we use payroll in the system. Thank you so much. See you in the next video. So in this video we are starting with payroll. So before jumping into payroll, there are some information that needs to be perfect, so in order that we can run the payroll. The first thing, all the contracts should be in running stage. So these 127 employees will get payroll, will get salary, because their contract is running. If the contract is not running, we cannot pay that individual the amount, the payroll. So and also if I open a contract, we need to make sure that we have analytic account to each employee and we have their salary structure type. Okay, so we have 2 types, one is for head office and one is for drivers. So if I go to any driver, group by job position, any driver. So their structure type is needs to be the driver. So we really need to make sure. So let's change this to driver, like this, drivers, and let's save this. And also we can add analytic account for them. Okay, so this is the project width of payroll. Okay, so contracts needs to be in running stage, and they need to have salary so that we can run payroll for them. So let's jump to the payroll. So if we go to payroll, we have menus, payslips that we will work on, and we have configuration. In configuration, these are all technical aspects that we have different salary rules, basic allowance, transportation, fixed overtime, other allowance, and all these components of the salary, as well as we have for drivers also. So one thing that I want to change in driver will be their overtime, which is divided by 11 hours. So they're working daily 11 hours. Yeah, so these will be pre-configured. We have two types of salary type. One is head office and drivers, which is working 40 and 66 hours. So let's see how we can create payroll for them now. Okay, so we can either pay an individual employee. If you want to pay one employee, we can click on to pay. If you want to see all payslips, we click on all the payslips, and also we can create payrolls using batch. So next video, let's see how we can create a batch of payroll for our employees. So actually, before jumping into how to run payroll, we need to make sure that we have the employees informations correctly set. So if you go to contracts, we should have the salary structure type, and we should have the analytic account for them set. So if I group by job position and I see drivers, so we really need to make sure that the salary structure type for this type of position is drivers, and employees that are working in department in head office, so it needs to be head office, because we have two different type of salary structures, which are head office and drivers. So we go to payroll. Here we can pay to single employee. We can see all payslips. We click on batch, creating the batch. So I can say Oscar Services LLC 2021, month of March. So I write Oscar Services because in the branch I will select it. It's regardless of choosing salary structure, it's automatic. So all we need to do is select on this branch, so employees is getting changed to particular branch. So I'm going to create for Oscar Services LLC, and I will click on generate. So the payslip batch has 36 payslips, and for this branch, so it's under HR can come and open payslips. For example, this one, they edit and they can add allowances and deductions here. And if I scroll down, I have all of my employees on this Oscar Services branch. So I need to go to rules, head office, and maybe to write net less deductions, allowance. So this is technical, fixing this along my basic. So we can set it like this. I can say basic minus deductions plus categories dot allowances. So I can play around with the rules here. That is a bit technical, requiring Python code. So if I go here, I can recompute them. Recompute all payslips means to calculate the payslips that we had. So if I come here, salary computation, his basic salary is 900, he's getting 900. The basic salary. If I want to add allowance or any deduction, I can come here. Okay, I want to give him a location allowance, for example. I can write total amount 90. I can give him, I will say, okay, a leave salary, the amount 80. So I can say I will add variable overtime for 5 days. So I'll just say compute, so it's all of them calculated. And if I come here, it's a basic allocation allowance, leave salary, variable, all coming here. So I will say, okay, let me deduct loan, for example 300. I will save, and this compute sheet means we are actually telling the system to calculate again this computation for this employee. So we have our net basic salary, we have our allowances, variable time, loan, net, and all of these. So I can go and add an allowances and deduction to employees. I can say compute sheet. So for example, suppose we have done all the allowances and these things, so we submit it to the finance, and the finance team, they can also add allowances and they can send it back to HR, and they can also compute, add allowances and all those stuff. And then he can click on create accounting entries. So it will create entries for employees. So if I